Alrighty, guys, welcome back to another session of daily recaps. Today's date is March 3rd, and I'm calling it a day. There's not going to be any trades for me. Whether there is a trade or not, everything now is lower probability as we did expand in the overnight session. So just looking at the day in general, I want to make this video now before 10 o'clock so that way I am cutting myself off from the day and I'm knowing that I'm not going to be taking any trades. Data shows that when we do have these overnight expansions that we are going to have a New York consolidation, whereas everything becomes lower probability and there is no trades for us. So today is a great day to practice that discipline aspect, to follow that rule and not try to look for something already. Call it a day early because that's what that version of me would do. And when I'm talking about that version, I'm talking about the version of me that is trading a personal account with heavy risk on the line, where I am trading my own personal money and things like that. Would that version of me wake up in the morning and look at YM dropping in the overnight session and being like, oh fuck, 1,000-point drop in the overnight section? In the overnight session, just because yes it is a prop account, that doesn't mean that you should be going and being like, oh okay, yeah, we can still trade because it's a fucking prop account. No, treat that prop account like it's real money, because it can help you out in the real life, right? So with that being said, 1,000-point drop, not exactly something that I want to be participating in coming into New York if it was me in the future. So I wouldn't be trading here. And again, in the overnight session for New York or for NQ is a 700-point drop. So what can happen after an overnight expansion? An overnight expansion equals New York consolidation. Everything now becomes lower probability because that's what the data says. Can this work? Can this 30-minute C2 as a lagging asset work? Yes, it can. Can YM continue pushing here with the overnight session from this 15-minute C2? Yes, it can. But is it going to be higher probability for us? Is it a high probability trade? No, it's not. Why? Because data shows that it can be considered that New York, data shows mass majority of the time after a massive expansion like this, especially 1,000 points, what happens after expansion? Accumulation, right? So a different phase in price. When London goes and expands, right? If Asia expands and then London expands, what happens after expansion? A possible New York consolidation, where you might see this happen and then you get ran out. So with that all being said, that's kind of why I am avoiding the day in general, and we're just going to be calling it a day. I may be I'm not even going to say there is anything here for me. The only thing that would be here for me would be this NQ short that's off of this 15-minute high and trading that lagging asset to go and meet up with the same low that YM has already taken. And we do have this 15-minute C2. I'm going to cap cut it, and I am going to trim it together where you can see that this is your draw on liquidity and your daily profile is really just fucking expansion. And they do have this further draw on liquidity that is still considered available. And that's the only reason why I would be able to take a short here, right, is because of that reason. We do have a 1 hour C2 about to form off of these gaps. We do have a 30-minute C2 about to form. You do have a 15-minute C4 that's about to form. You do have a 3-minute V-shape reversal off of these accumulation highs. And this is where you would want to enter as a 10 a.m. positional entry. However, like I said, everything is lower probability right now. I'm going to go and I'm going to be chilling already. Maybe I'll paper trade it. But other than that, I'm going to blend this video and cut it right now. So that way we can see what it looks like after, right? So I'll just go and cut it and edit the clips together. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Alrighty, so welcome back to another session. And of course, we took this on paper because of the last what is that called? But here's your paper trade. And basically it was just a retest of the CISD. Let 10 a.m. open up high. With the 10 a.m. opening up high, I went and got tapped in, and then I took it down to this low because why? YM was failing to manipulate this low as the SMT did just keep following. So with YM failing to manipulate that low, we can utilize NQ to go and break that SMT. And with NQ wanting to break this SMT like that, I did just trade it as a 10 a.m. positional, 10 a.m. open high. Once you get the closure through this level here and we tap into this level, we'd want to go break even, or I want to go break even. Reasoning why is because I don't anticipate this high to get tapped into anymore. So we'd want to go and utilize this. It's as if you was to put in a trade here and you wouldn't want to see this high get tapped into anymore, right? So with that being said, that would be like your 10 a.m. open, high, low, close. And then I would go stops to break even. And then we break the SMT. What happens after we break the SMT? I held for 2R, but then it didn't get tapped in. And yeah, that's basically what it is. And all your trading is that 30-minute C2. Right, 30-minute C2, very bearish, and trading that 10 a.m. open, high, low, close for that 30-minute C3 down to break the SMT that YM is failing to manipulate, trading that lagging asset logic. But again, right, why did we only paper trade this? Why did we not want to trade this fully? Why did we take it? Why did we not want to even put in any trades today? Because it's written in the rules that when we do have overnight expansions, the way that overnight has expanded within this Asia and London session, we can take notice that it does expand fucking pretty much from daily's opening price all the way down is 638 points. Do we want to go at what can we anticipate if the overnight expands? A New York consolidation or a New York different phase in price. So everything that comes into New York is going to be lower probability, and that's kind of why these trades didn't work out. Also taking notice of YM, there was a YM trade as it did have this 15-minute C2. Problem with this trade was I don't trade at the lowest point of the day. That's not my forte. But here's your 15-minute C2 formation, and you could trade this 945 continuation, but I don't do that, and that's not my style either. And just taking a look at YM as well, YM does go and rip us up before market open. It does have a 972 point expansion. So if overnight expands, New York, we can consolidate. That's why there was lower probability conditions, and that's why I decided the moment I woke up that I wasn't going to trade anything, and we're going to go and conserve that capital. With that being said, if you guys like this type of content, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And flat on the day, chilling, and we're gonna cruise out and we'll just wait for better conditions, wait for a better setup, and being more picky with it and just demanding those A plus. Obviously the conditions today, this was a very nice trade as the lagging asset logic, but the conditions and where we are located in the chart is not, especially if prices expanded into an objective already. This can go and consolidate right here as it really did. All right, so with that being said, catch you guys in the next session. Peace.